Thank you all. Secretary Carter, have you ever heard of the PYD?
I have, yes.
Who are they?
They're a Kurdish group, one of several, a number of.
Have you heard of the YPG?
I've heard of them also.
Who are they?
Another Kurdish group.
Aren't they the military wing of the PYD?
They are, yes.
Is that right, General Dunford?
That is correct.
They're a leftist Syrian Kurdish political party founded in 2003. Reports indicate that they're aligned or at least have substantial ties to the PKK. Is that true?
Yes, we haven't.
Is the PKK a terrorist organization in the eyes of the Turkish government?
The PKK is a terrorist organization not only in the eyes of the Turkish government, but in the eyes of the U.S. government as well, Senator.
Is it surprising to you that the Turks may be upset with us by arming the YPG in Syria, since they're so closely aligned with the PKK?
No, it's not. No, it's not at all, Senator. We have, let me just clarify, let me just say that, and the chairman's been involved in this as well. We have extensive consultations with the Turks.
So Turkey's okay with this?
They're not okay with that.
I just got back from Turkey. They're not okay with this. They think this is the dumbest idea in the world, and I agree with them. Okay. How many of the Syrian Democratic Forces, or whatever we're talking about, are Kurds versus Arabs, General Dunford?
There's about 6,000 Arabs, Senator.
Well, what percentage of the force is that?
That's about 20%.
Okay. So if you're wondering why Turkey's a little upset, we're arming people inside of Syria aligned with a terrorist group that's fighting the Turkish government. Turkey could do more, but I think this whole concept is, quite frankly, absurd. I just got back.
Senator, about 3 or 4 days ago, Monday morning, you feared that with our pullout of troops and the green light to Turkey, that the Kurds were going to be in trouble and the ISIS prisoners were going to get loose. Here we are at the end of the week. What's happened?
I'm more concerned than ever. The Kurds are talking to Assad because they've got no other place to go. Turkey said today, we're not going to take over the ISIS prisoner camps except in the areas that we occupy. Our Kurdish allies are being killed by Turkey as I speak. There's a special forces guy, I think with Jennifer Griffin, teared up when he thought about the idea that all the Kurds I fought with and trained I'm going to have to abandon. He felt ashamed for the first time in his military service. What we're doing to the Kurds is dishonorable, and it's dangerous for us, because if Turkey keeps coming into Syria and going after the Kurdish fighters who fought with us to defeat ISIS, then ISIS will break out, and Iran and Assad will be the biggest winner. I talked to the president. I hope he'll change course. I've got sanctions against Turkey that I will introduce next Tuesday. These are sanctions from hell. I'm going to break Erdogan's economy and cut off all aid to the military. And it really pisses me off, Brian, that F-16s designed by the Americans are being used to bomb the Kurds by Turkey.
But if for people like the president who says these enemy is 7,000 miles away, it's time for our troops to come home.
Oh, that's ridiculous, to be honest with you. You can't win the war from the air. You know how Raqqa was liberated? By the Kurds. By the Arabs and the Kurds, and the Syrian Democratic Forces went street to street, house to house, and wound up having to kill a bunch of them. And there are about 60,000 people in these refugee camps. The ISIS wives are more dangerous than the ISIS soldiers. There's over 12,000 ISIS fighters in prison that are going to get out. So to President Trump, if you think you can defend America without allies, good luck. If you think you can defend America against ISIS from the air 7,000 miles away, you'll be doing something no other military has ever done in history, win a war from the air alone. So endless wars, it takes two to end the war. They're still fighting. They don't want to end the war. The question for us is, how do we fight the war? I believe the best way to fight the war is for some of us, a small footprint, working with people like the Kurds to keep the enemy at bay so they don't come here again. And that model works, and what President Trump is proposing will not work.